Who we talking to?
Ourselves!
Welcome back to another episode of the Mc&Marren podcast. Tonight's episode, we are talking about the Disney villain Pantheon, Part 3. But before we get started...
I have a question. Actually, I have a factoid, and I want to see their reactions. So, recently, Disney named new CEO Josh DeMaio. Is it DeMaio? DeMaio. Okay, clearly I haven't heard his name on the news enough. Everything I've read has been reading. However, so Josh DeMaio. I'm sorry, Mr. DeMaio. I will get this right eventually. But Mr. DeMaio, recently, we're talking, he got made CEO and then he immediately sat down and got to work, made some changes to a much anticipated Disney park expansion plan.
Okay.
Now, seeing as how our theme tonight is Disney villains, that kind of gives away which part of the expansion he tweaked. Now, initial thoughts before I go into more detail on what he did. Or what he's doing.
I'm assuming we're going to be talking about Villain Land at Magic Kingdom, but maybe Villain Land is going to be expanding even bigger.
I'm thinking it's probably going to include more of the obscure villains like Mad Madam Mim and...
So, now this was reported on DisneyFantasticNews.com earlier today. But allegedly, he has decided to scrap the initial concept of Villain Land.
What?
Because he doesn't think it's good enough. He wants it darker, scarier, and bigger.
Okay, how dark?
Now when I first saw the headline of, how do you say his name?
Josh DeMaio.
DeMaio scraps Villain Land, I immediately saw red. Until I read the part where it says he wants it bigger, badder, scarier, darker.
Of course, the question I have is, how much darker are we going? Because as shown with things like Game of Thrones, it can get too dark.
It can Sometimes lighting becomes an issue.
Also, this is just my personal pet peeve, but it's just news outlets, stop making,
Stop with the clickbait!
Stop with the clickbait headlines. Yes, it gets us to click your stories, but if you're absolutely lying in your headline, it's not good journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but so
why would they stop?
But so he is asking for the Imagineers, allegedly. Now remember, this is all alleged. We have no official confirmation, but he has asked the Imagineers to return to the drawing board and bring back a more villain land.
I'm sure they'll probably make an update about Villain Land at D23 this year.
I'm sure that is soon. And, I mean, I think that I can say this is probably, of all the Disney expansions that are coming, this is the one that I'm most excited for. This is the one that Colin and I have been saying for years. They needed it. It was a natural progression. I mean, we've got animals, we've got heroes, we've got storybooks, we've got Pixar.
Yep.
Now give the villains some wiggle room.
Now here's a question. Say you had to design Villain Land. What, beyond Maleficent's castle, what else are you putting in there?
Okay, you're going to have a roller coaster that is Yzma's lab. It's going to be kind of like a Splash Mountain concept.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm wanting Splash Mountain concept meets Tower of Terror.
And then when you go up the tippy top,
pull the lever, Crunk. Run lever! Exactly, that's what I want. Then other things, we need Ursula's underwater grotto could have a nice water feature, or Ursula's lair. Obviously, Scar's stage show. Scar gets an entire stage production. Have you seen the Scar? Yeah, because I showed you the video of the Lion King performance at Disneyland Paris. I have no intention of going to Paris, but I would go to Disneyland Paris just for that performance.
Well,
The Elephant Graveyard?
Yeah.
Well, Disneyland Paris is also getting a Lion King water ride, which is based off of Splash Mountain.
Okay. So, but I would want to see that. I want to live in a villain musical 24/7. That's what I want, because they've got all the good songs.
Now, for me, this is kind of an obscure one, but Judge Doom has been making appearances at Mickey's Not So Scary Spooktacular in the past couple years. I want the Acme Factory where Judge Doom, it's like the Who Framed Roger Rabbit ride at Disneyland, but twisted, where you're being chased by Judge Doom and the Weasels.
Okay, just to clarify, you have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and then you have the Oogie Boogie Bash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's two parties.
He's at the Oogie Boogie Bash. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But yes, he's been
Can
making the
we
rounds.
get an Oogie Boogie casino?
Yes.
Is that in the cards?
Speaking of cards.
All right, that's probably
The cards.
That's gonna be the best transition we got.
That leads us into, are we putting in Dr. Facilier and the Queen of Hearts? But anyway, back to the villains.
We'll have to do a whole episode on what we want for Villain Land.
Yeah, put that on the calendar for sometime in the future. What we want to see at Villain Land. Maybe, you know what, actually, we could wait until they announce fully what they're going to, because okay, raise your hand if you think they're going to make an announcement at D23. 3 for 3, we all think it. So after D23 this year, we will give a report.
Yep. All right, so back to the main plot. We are, again, talking about Disney Villain Pantheon, seeing who would go where. We already had 2 episodes talking about this, so just to recap who we have so far. So, for those of you that have not seen the previous 2 episodes, why are you watching the 3rd one? Go ahead and stop this one and watch the previous other 2.
Why does that say HP 5?
Because my computer's being silly, okay? It's fine.
Okay.
And now we have a weird part of the audio, and I'm not going to cut it out because I'm lazy.
So we have a ranking system based on where we want the villains to go. So the ranking system is S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. So far we have an S tier. We have Maleficent. We have Ursula, Scar, Judge Claude Frollo, and Hades. In A tier, we have Mother Gothel, Dr. Facilier, and the Evil Queen. In B tier, we have Jafar and Captain Hook.
Now pause one quick, because we were going over this with a friend the other day, and she was very upset that we had put Captain Hook so far down. I would like to remind the listeners that these are based off of their original Disney premiere states. These are not based on live actions. These are not based on sequels, unless it's relevant to the argument, but that's just us talking. So when we say B tier for Captain Hook, we mean original Peter Pan Captain Hook. We're not talking about Jason Isaacs. We're not talking about Dustin Hoffman. We are talking about the original animated Captain Hook.
Yes. In C tier, we have Cruella de Vil and Gaston. And finally, in D tier, we have the Queen of Hearts.
Off with your head.
All right, but let's get into the main villains we'll be talking about this evening and adding to the Pantheon. So, first one, appearing in the 1950 film Cinderella and voiced by Eleanor Adley, who voiced the lovely and haunting Madame Leota, as well as a former Pantheon alum, Maleficent, Lady Tremaine.
Okay, that's Eleanor Audley.
Sorry. Eleanor Audley.
Just saying.
How odd.
Yes. So Eleanor is a very unique Disney character because not only did she give us the amazing Madame Leota, she also gave us our S tier Empress herself, Maleficent.
But now we're talking about...
She is the, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but if she's not the only one, she is the first Disney voice actor to voice 2 villains.
She's got a great voice.
Yeah. So let's talk about Cinderella's evil stepmother, Lady Tremaine.
Lady Tremaine. So we also talked about her at Comic-Con last year about the whole, is she really a villain?
Yep. I still maintain she's a villain.
I maintain that she is a not nice person, but that does not always a villain make.
If we include Cinderella 3,
Which we're not.
Which we're not.
definitely.
Because if we're including Cinderella 3, we also have to have a whole argument about the you will not take a step down these stairs. Okay. Jumps out window. And we don't have time for that today.
Mm-hmm.
But give some credit. It gave the prince some personality.
Yeah.
But
I think that Lady Tremaine is a straight up villain. She pretty much gaslights Cinderella to no end. She abuses her to no end. She's essentially a servant in her own house after her dad dies.
I'm not denying she is a bad woman.
Yeah. And it's just like the one chance of happiness she has of going to the ball, she throws off all these chores and then has her daughters rip up her dress.
And to be fair, I'm going to play devil's advocate here on one thing, and you've got to give this to me, okay? Her whole thing in life is to get her daughters married. That's all she's trying to do. Secure her status, get her daughters married. Those are the 2 things we have to do, okay? Okay? Those daughters are a hard sell. Mm-hmm. They are very hard to make appealing to anybody.
In other words, they ugly.
They're not the choicest, okay? And the stepsister, Cinderella, even covered in soot and suds and dirt, is still the prettiest girl in the room. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna let her go to the ball with her stepsisters, where she's gonna stand next to them, and the prince is not gonna look at them twice. Sorry, you're too pretty. You gotta stay home.
But that leads to the question of, why not get her to marry some other guy and get out of the house?
Because cheap labor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because cheap labor.
Well, also, it's like we kind of, she married Cinderella's father when she was very young. Mm-hmm. So she basically kind of browbeat her to the point where she's not allowed to leave the home.
Yep.
Now, this, of course, is going to bring up, because we have to bring up 2 villains for this one. 1, Maleficent, because same voice actress.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But 2, Frollo, because Frollo did the same thing with Quasimodo. But that was not the only evil thing that Frollo did. He did wage an entire war on an entire group of people.
I mean, Lady Tremaine.
And burn France.
Lady Tremaine did not burn France. She did not, that we know of. We have theories, but we can't prove it.
Nope.
She hasn't killed anyone. We can't prove anything.
Coming several decades after the fact, Cinderella 4, Tremaine burns France.
Disney's next film.
I have a theory that she killed Cinderella's father.
Oh, I think we all had that theory when we were kids, because we're like, oh, that's just too convenient. Her dad dies, and then Tremaine gets everything. Yeah, that's...
She is a Black Widow.
But we can't prove it. In the words of Taylor Swift, we think she did it, but we just can't prove it.
Mm.
So she didn't... We didn't see her kill anyone. We didn't see her burn France.
She didn't even
We didn't see her be a total creep.
She did...
Now, while her crimes are not as...
Did she ever lay hands on Cinderella directly, or did she just send her daughters to do it?
She sent her daughters to do it.
Daughters.
So
And the cat.
Yeah, she's not a nice person. In any sense of the word. But when you think of, on the scale of evil, she's just a Karen, okay?
Yeah,
she's not...
I would say that her cat, Lucifer, is more of a villain than she is.
And he's just a cat.
And he's just a cat.
Well, that's because we got the point of view of the mice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. The scene where Cinderella is doing her morning chores and she's trying to get everybody's breakfast out and get everyone fed, and she goes to get Lucifer. She's like, Lucifer, come on. And he's totally ignoring her, and you hear her go, Lucifer, come here. Anyone who owns a cat can tell you that was not fiction. That is 100% real. Whoever animated that probably had a cat at home, and that was a normal occurrence, because how many times do I go, hey, kitty, 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 and the cats just look at me like, no, not today.
But it is a bit weird when Disney has, like, the mice are mice, but they don't act like mice. They act like little people who just happen to be mice. They speak. They are the only animals that speak for some reason. The birds don't speak. Cat doesn't speak. They speak for some reason, and they wear clothes.
Side tangential
So
note.
Why do they act more like people than every other animal?
Side tangential note, that's kind of related to that. I would like us to do a podcast at some point that talks about some amazing movies that Disney did right that all feature mice. Because for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's because, quote unquote, it all started with a mouse. Disney does mice really well. It's a wheelhouse. I mean,
they're not the only company that's done animated films featuring mice.
no, but they do it really well.
Yes, but I do love the scene where the Cinderella's locked up in the tower, and Lucifer's essentially guarding the gate, and the mice and the birds are trying to get her out, and then she's like, but they're failing, and then she's like, get the dog.
Get the dog.
And then the dog shows up, and Lucifer's just like, okay.
Yeah.
And just flies out the window.
Yeah, because they don't do that. That's not good. But okay, back to the lady at hand. All right, we can obviously say she does not belong in S tier. Maleficent versus Lady Tremaine, not even a contest.
So she's not an S tier though, but Lady Tremaine and Mother Gothel do pretty much the same thing.
I'm sorry, Mother Gothel stabbed someone.
Yeah.
Do you think if Lady Tremaine given the chance, if she wouldn't have stabbed somebody?
Oh, she was given the chance. She had plenty of chances.
But just a reminder, once again, the Disney version, we're not talking about Grimm's fairy tales because those are grim.
But besides stabbing somebody, though, Lady Tremaine and Mother Gothel essentially have the same, they do a lot of the same things towards their adopted
their
daughter.
charge, their ward.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's about right. However, I just don't feel. Can I see the rankings again? I don't know if I feel comfortable putting Lady Tremaine.
She doesn't have a good song.
She doesn't have a song.
That is true.
Good or otherwise.
She is not very marketable. Because I'm talking to you.
Okay.
She is not very marketable. She's. When have you ever seen a Lady Tremaine T-shirt? Disney, if you're listening, I do not want one.
I think for marketing purposes, I think the Evil Stepsisters are more marketed than Lady Tremaine is.
I mean, even in terms of a walk-around character, more
Especially
people want to hang out with Anastasia and Drusilla than they do Lady Tremaine.
Mm.
So she's not very marketable. She doesn't have a song. She doesn't have. I mean, she has a presence.
Yeah.
But it's not the presence of, I'm about to die.
No, but when she gives you that evil squinting, it's like you know that you messed up.
Oh, I think that's just a mom thing.
Because when you first see her in the bed, yeah, she's laying down, but I understand. You get that presence of, something terrible.
She does have a very regal and arrogant. And I think that does go back to speaking about Eleanor Audley, is that, when she's giving her the chores, the ironing, the mending, the kitchen, the stairs, and it just rolls off so elegantly.
Going back to her first, the first scene you see her in, she's in her bed stroking Lucifer. It's like, this is basically a Bond villain.
Yep.
She is the Disney Bond villain.
So
does that put her in A tier or okay? Instead of trying to rank her with the same let's try with the same levels. Let's try to see who she's better than.
She's definitely better than the Queen of Hearts, though, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely above the Queen of Hearts.
Is she above Cruella de Vil?
Yes, because she doesn't smoke.
Or try and kill puppies?
There's your anti-smoking campaign for the day. Do
so
not
then,
smoke.
Because we feel like she doesn't really belong on the same level as like Mother Gothel and Dr. Facilier, that means that leaves just B tier.
B for Bond, because she's the Bond
B
villain.
for Bond villain.
All right, so Lady Tremaine is adding to
Is
B
our
tier.
first woman of the B tier. And remember, those listening out there, these rankings are subject to change at any time based on who we put in the category. We could put somebody into the B tier later that completely pushes Lady Tremaine up.
Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, so let's move on to our next villain. Appearing in the 2012 film, Wreck-It Ralph, voiced by Disney's go-to man for birds, Alan Tudyk. It's Turbo-tastic. It's Turbo, a.k.a. King Candy.
He went to Juilliard.
He did. Alan Tudyk. Such a nice guy. Shout out, because we've met him.
We met him at Mississippi Comic-Con.
Such a sweet guy.
Yeah. But Wreck-It Ralph is my all-time favorite Disney movie. And
What a Rick.
And to be honest, like, this was kind of like a weird point where Disney was doing a lot of like twist villains. You had one in Frozen, you had one in Zootopia, and you had one in this one. And I think out of like those, and there could be more, I don't really know off the top of my head, but like out of those three, I think Wreck-It Ralph's twist villain was done the best.
It was. And I think Wreck-It Ralph had a couple of twists. Like, I mean, they wrote the story, the initial story concept was so good that when they revealed the surprise thing, you know, like, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph, stop listening to us and go watch it.
You'll
but
be glad you did.
if, you know, like, the whole thing of Vanellope's glitching, and, you know, we've all played games. We know that sometimes there's weird things that happen in the games. You get glitches and you get code breaks and things like that. And everyone in the game is all in agreement that she's a glitch. She wasn't supposed to be there. So the story makes sense. But then Ralph sees her on the side of the game console. And that's when he realizes there's something bigger at play here. And you're just like, oh my goodness, she's not a glitch.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
And then
mind blown.
And then also, like, even at the beginning of the movie, like, when they're having their therapy session, they're like, you're not going turbo, are you? Like, they set up turbo as a really bad word to essentially be like, you know, if you do this, like what this guy did, you will mess up your game.
Sorry, Tori is threatening one of the cats with a spray bottle right now.
Yep.
Now here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we count the bug version of Turbo?
That thing is the stuff of nightmares.
Because technically speaking,
the Cybug.
that's not, the Cybug is not him. It is a Cybug that is copying him.
It is still the stuff of nightmares.
But he still maintains control over that form.
For like a brief minute until
the
light.
Until the volcano erupts. But yeah, I think
Bugs, clowns,
Candy.
So we have
anybody?
We have a friend. We have a friend who I introduced her to the movie Wreck-It Ralph, and she is only scared of two things in this world: spiders and clowns.
Have you shown her Pennywise?
I'm sure she's seen it by now, but I just remember watching that with her in college, and she was freaking. But I mean, it is the stuff of nightmares.
It is very creepy.
Like, and it's great because it ties in like the concept of the final boss form that you have to always go through with the thing. Turbo. No song.
No song.
However, King Candy, highly marketable.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Hit a guy with glasses.
I see you're a fan of pink.
Salmon, that's
it's
clearly
obvious salmon.
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
And just like all the puns.
Yeah.
Did he hurt you, sir? No, he just glazed me.
Yeah. And it really just added to the twist of it being, you know, King Candy to Turbo, because it's just like, it's kind of a not completely personality shift, but a complete tonal shift in character.
So
it's like Waternoose from Monsters Inc. You can see like the little bits of his character peeking through earlier once you've seen the movie the first time.
Yeah. But that first time around, you don't catch it.
And then also, his plan is actually really well thought out. Like, he actually broke into the game's code, rewrote the code so that Vanellope is considered glitch. And no one remembers
Wiped
who
everyone's
she really
memory.
was, and made it so, like, he's the ruler of this land. And because he's a racer, he always ends up on top, so he ends up on the game board. So, essentially, he's living his dream right now.
He is. I mean, he is probably... I mean... This is one of the rare occurrences, a rare occurrence, when a villain's plan actually comes to fruition, and for the majority of people, it's not bad.
How does it feel that a candy clown did better
than anybody
than
lower
Voldemort?
Than Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse.
Voldemort couldn't even take down a school.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, though, we are introduced to King Candy kind of late in the game. It's about halfway before Ralph goes into Sugar Rush.
Yeah, because for the majority of the movie, we're dealing with Ralph's internal conflict of, I'm a bad guy, and that's good. I'll never be good, and that's not bad.
But he wants to be more than just a bad guy.
But he wants to be more than just a bad guy. Which is a great message. Disney doing a great job with, finding your inner person message there.
Yeah.
Also, a great overall video game movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it has classic cameos from classic video game characters.
At the time, we didn't have really good video game movies.
No. This is a good one. I will say, my thought there is that even though we were introduced to King Candy kind of late in the game, it still kind of makes sense because, like you pointed out, at the bad guy therapy group, or Badanon, they mentioned Turbo.
Yeah.
They kind of drop the name, kind of like, He Who Shall Not Be Named, or Vader. You drop it early. Mm-hmm. But then you don't see, like, it's a whisper, it's a word. Like, nobody really knows what happened to Turbo.
And then we do get an explanation of what happened to Turbo and why they say it as a word when Fitz Felix Jr. is telling it to Calhoun.
And then they introduce you to King Candy, because for the majority of the movie, they're two separate, you don't know they're,
we don't know they're two separate...
90% of the movie, you don't know, spoiler alert, that King Candy is Turbo.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you meet King Candy, and he's this bumbling clown racer, who's the king of a candy land. By the way, that was a total ripoff of Candy Crush. Disney, how much did you pay in royalties?
Well, I think it was more of a ripoff of Mario Kart more than anything else.
It's like Mario Kart meets Candy Crush.
Yeah.
But so the fact that you meet these two different characters under completely different circumstances, and one is all joy and rainbows and gumballs, and the other one is dark and mysterious, and you don't know what happened. And so the fact that when they finally do bring them together, and you realize it's the same guy. Turbo is King Candy. King Candy is Turbo. Einhorn is Finkel.
Yes.
It's a whole thing.
Also, because they told the story of who Turbo was, and they said they unplugged both games, we would assume if he snuck out, someone would have seen him.
And I mean, we even, one of the first interactions that Ralph has with King Candy, your game jumped, you're now going Turbo. He even mentions, he name drops himself.
Yeah, he's playing up the act.
He plays it so well. So I think that because this is a case where the villain's plan, for the majority of it, it worked. Had Ralph not
put two and two together
and teamed up with a crazy little glitch, no one would have ever known. No one would ever have been the wiser.
Yeah.
He would have kept his scheme. It would have kept going. The Cybugs wouldn't have taken down things in the arcade. Everything would have, nobody would have known. And nobody would have been hurt or worse for wear. Except for Vanellope, but nobody likes her anyway because of what he did.
And I mean, they said that Turbo and this other game, I forget the name of it, but That was over 20 years ago.
Yeah, and he's still around doing it.
Turbo Time.
Turbo Time. Well, that was his game.
Which, by the way, we actually found a Turbo Time game. So, outside of Little Rock, Arkansas, in the town of Sherwood, there is a wonderful vintage arcade place called The Vortex.
Great time.
It is, $10 or $20 per entry?
$10.
$10 entry, free gameplay. They've got classic arcade games. They've got
pinball machines.
Pinball machines. They've got gaming consoles.
Yep.
Absolutely great. This is not sponsored. They do not sponsor us in any way, shape, or form. It's just a really fun thing. But in the back corner, like if you go all the way into the back row, back corner, where you get to like where the games look a little bit more worn down and like they probably only got a year or two of life left to them, you will find a very old Turbo Time game. We have played it. It exists. It is not made up. Turbo Time was real.
Yeah. So now that kind of raises the question though, and based on everything we talked about, while he's not an S tier villain,
I would put him in an A.
I was gonna say, I was like, he belongs in A
He
tier.
He is one of the few villains whose plan worked, and had it not been for you meddling kids, sorry Scooby-Doo franchise, it would have worked, and he would have gotten away with it.
Also, just a question: if one of the Cybugs had eaten Vanellope, would that Cybug become a glitch?
I don't even want to think about that.
Leave the game?
Yeah.
Cybugs are not considered a villain, according to the Disney official wiki, but there might need to be an amendment because they are definitely the stuff of nightmares.
Yes.
Well, the thing here is that they don't really have minds of their own. They're just a hive that eats everything.
They're just...
It's just their programming.
I mean, for lack of a better thing, they're just enemies in a video game.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're all in agreement that King Candy / Turbo belongs in A tier.
Yay!
All right, we got a pretty good leap. All right, next one appeared in the 1986 film The Great Mouse Detective, voiced by the legendary Vincent Price. He is the Napoleon of crime. He is evil. He is the nefarious Professor Ratagan.
Worse than the widows and orphans you drowned. That is safe because that is literally in the song.
He is automatically in the top 3 tiers for the song alone. Because granted, we are only seeing one crime that he commits. But they talk about, well, technically, if you wanted to include the kidnapping and the robot queen, that's 2 crimes. We see 2 crimes. Well,
3, because he absolutely murders one of his henchmen in the middle of the song.
In the middle of the song.
Yeah, he is fed to his cat, Felicity.
I mean, Felicia,
sorry.
he's in the top 3 tiers for the song alone, because in the song, you know, we find out in the song he
drowns widows and orphans.
He drowns widows and orphans.
Yep.
He robbed the tower. And it's just, he stops in the middle of a song to kill a henchman because the henchman called him a rat.
Yes.
He is just... He's just that kind of villain. And, so obviously, if you have not seen The Great Mouse Detective, as always, we're going to encourage you to go watch these films. The Great Mouse Detective is an amazing movie in which Disney subtly introduces their child audiences to Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
So instead of James Moriarty, it's Ratagan.
Yeah. And instead of Sherlock Holmes, it's the Basil of Baker Street.
Yes. His character goes from charming and cunning to absolute crazy at the drop of a hat.
Yep.
Especially, like, in the big final battle scene.
Yeah.
When everything's coming to a head and, like, he's chasing after Basil, and the more he chases after Basil, the more rat-like he becomes. Like, he gets more, like, rage-looking. Mm-hmm. It's amazing that anyone who watched The Great Mouse Detective, and I'm including myself because this was one of my favorite movies as a kid, it is amazing that I do not have a fear of rats and bats, because The Great Mouse Detective absolutely made them terrifying.
Yeah.
They're absolutely terrifying.
Okay, Fidget was scary in the opening scene. But after that...
Yeah, once you realize that he's a bumbling idiot.
Yeah, well, he's also pretty scary when they come back to the toy shop and he hides in the baby
No,
basket.
no, that's the scariness of the toy shop itself.
The toy shop is a very scary. But honestly, Fidget is Fidget's not even going to be on the... Fidget is going to be discussed when we eventually have the sidekick Pantheon.
He is the Smee of this movie.
He is the Smee. But Ratagan is just...
the world's greatest criminal mind.
He is, and that's what his song says. And the thing is, he doesn't sing his song. People sing the song to him. Very much a Gaston kind of thing.
Yep.
Except, whereas this one is Gaston is kind of stroking Gaston's ego. This one is just a reminder, he just sits there listening to the song and he's like, and I did that, and I did that, and I did this. Oh, and don't forget I did that too.
And then he gives them the plan.
And
I mean, even before we meet Ratagan, we have Basil talking about how he's his greatest enemy. He always bested him. He was always so close to catching him, but he could never
No one in London is safe while he's at large.
Mm-hmm.
There's no evil scheme he wouldn't concoct.
And then, boom, we're introduced to Ratagan.
It's a great introduction.
Yes.
He's got a great wardrobe.
Yep.
He has a great plan.
Great song.
Great song.
Great voice actor.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this. I think, Ratagan is a great character, but I don't think it would have been as memorable if it wasn't voiced by Vincent Price.
Oh, yes. Vincent Price made Ratagan. And we pointed out this earlier. Justin and I were watching the movie earlier. Vincent Price got top billing for that movie.
Yeah, if you look at the opening credits,
well,
for
obviously.
But
normally... for the cast list, yeah, it said Vincent Price, voice Ratagan, and then it goes into the main cast of characters.
So a lot of movies, when they have a really big actor who's coming in to do something, even if it's super small, they do their blah, 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 so-and-so, and featuring, and they'll put the big person at the end.
Yeah. Kind of like what they do with the Avengers. They'll have featuring Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
What?
Anyway.
Colin's already decided where he's putting Ratagan.
Yep.
S tier for me.
But also, it's just his scheme is actually...
very brilliant.
Very brilliant. So, if you haven't seen The Great Mouse Detective, his overall scheme is he kidnaps a toy maker named Flaversham. Whatever. And he tasks him to make a toy robot version of the Queen of England during...
the Mouse Queen of England.
Yes, the Mouse Queen of England.
Once again, Disney's doing great things with mice.
And during her Diamond Day Jubilee... Sorry. Replace her with the robot to name Ratagan the new royal...
the Royal Vizier.
Royal Vizier. And he pretty much accomplishes it almost right up for 5 minutes.
I believe it's consort.
Oh, yes, consort.
Well, either way.
Royal consort, which is even worse.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, he pretty much accomplishes for a good 5-10 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah, until Basil, stops him. So...
I think S tier.
S tier. I think we're on agreement. Ratagan is put on S tier.
You're more evil than
even you.
you.
Oh, Ratagan.
Oh,
Ratagan. You're top, and that's that. To Ratagan. To Ratagan.
To Ratagan, the world's greatest rat.
Record scratch.
And there goes Bartholomew.
Yep. All right. So far we have Lady Tremaine in B tier. We have King Candy / Turbo in A tier, and Professor Ratagan in S tier.
It's nice that we're trending upwards.
We are trending upwards.
But we might go back down with this next one.
Oh no.
Dear. Who is it?
Appear in the 1967 film The Jungle Book, which, fun fact, was the last film that Walt Disney worked on before he died, voiced by George Sanders, Sher Khan the Tiger.
He is not top 3.
Question. Are we going to include Ka in a later thing?
He's more of a
also...
sidekick, though.
Well, it depends on if he's on actually Disney's wiki list for villains.
He wasn't.
Oh, so then no.
Really?
Yeah.
He should be. Snake's gonna snake.
You just hate snakes.
I do hate snakes.
But yes, we're talking about Sher Khan the tiger.
Again, the problem with animals.
They're just animals.
You can't judge an animal on human morality for acting like an animal.
So we talked about this one at Comic-Con. So if you haven't gone and watched our Arkansas Comic-Con panel from last year, please take a moment, go do so. We would appreciate it. But we had a whole thing about Sher Khan and is he really a villain? And what was ultimately decided was no, because he's just a tiger. And that's not to say that, like, because, you know, we talked about Ratagan. Well, Ratigan's just a rat. No, Ratagan is an anthropomorphized person rat. Okay? Sher Khan is a tiger responding to a human boy in the jungle. Tiger's gonna tiger.
And the Sher Khan's fears are not unfounded.
No, he's actually very right.
He's actually the only person in the entire group who still has a brain.
Because his whole thing is that man will bring destruction and chaos to the jungle. And look, he was right.
By the end of the movie, the forest is on fire.
So, now, I mean, where does that put him in the rankings? He's not really a villain. His whole plan is get the man cub out of the jungle by any means necessary. If that means I gotta eat him, gotta eat him. But he does try to persuade Mowgli just to leave.
Yeah.
He doesn't immediately go to, I'm going to eat you. He does try to go, shoo, go away.
Yeah.
Get.
I'll give you a head start.
I'll let you start running.
Or earlier in the movie when he says, hey, man does not belong in the jungle. I will give you a certain amount of time, get him out of here, or I will eat him.
Shoo, shoo.
And everyone tries to get Mowgli out of the jungle. And Mowgli doesn't want to get out of the jungle.
Because Mowgli is an idiot. Anywho.
Some children act like they really want to die.
You know, I'm sure any parent listening to this podcast will probably agree. It's hard to keep children alive.
Yes, it really is.
It's amazing it's amazing the three of us live to be adults.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, I mean, as much as I'm going to feel bad saying this, but
I think this is our first F tier.
This is an F.
F, really?
F. I mean, try to sell me on something higher. Sell me.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I can't because
he got clowned on by discount Beatles characters.
This is true.
He did.
That is, I mean, he does have a little bit of marketability, but only for people who like tigers.
But I mean, it's also, he does have a presence though.
He does.
I'm not denying that. But so do tigers in general.
Yes, tigers in general. But I think ultimately he needs to go to F tier because as we talked about at their Comic-Con panel, he's not really a villain.
He's not an anthropomorphized tiger. Now, he is in Tailspin.
But we don't talk about that.
That's not what we talked about.
But that's a different character. That's not Shere Khan from the Jungle Book.
No, that's Shere Khan from Tailspin, which is a different Shere Khan. It's like Shere Khan adjacent.
All right.
So that is our first F tier. But he's an F tier because he's not a villain.
He's just doing what he does.
He's just a tiger.
That's nature.
All right. So we have our first F tier villain as Shere Khan.
Wow.
All right. So
it took us a while to get here.
Yeah, this is the last one that I have listed, but because we kind of glanced over Shere Khan, we may have time for one more. So for the next one, appearing in the 1973 film Robin Hood, voiced by Peter Ustinov, who also voices King Richard, Prince John.
Prince John,
the phony king of England.
Now, obviously, because he's anthropomorphized, we can judge him as a villain.
Yes, he can be judged as a person.
Yes.
So.
Essentially, this is Robin Hood told with animals.
Which is a great version of Robin Hood.
It is. To be honest, it was my introduction to the character.
I don't think there's a version of Robin Hood that I don't enjoy.
The Kevin Costner version's not great.
I enjoy that one.
I didn't.
I do.
No.
But I think this one is probably my favorite. I mean, if for nothing else, then the Madrigal as a
Now,
modern day folk singer.
Here's a question for everyone. Why was Prince John taxing so heavily?
He had to pay for the Crusades.
Which the real king was on. The real king that everyone supports.
Yeah.
But because it's Prince John pushing the taxes, no, we don't want to pay the taxes. We don't want to support King Richard.
But the thing is, though, yes, he's saying that they're funding the Crusades, but he's keeping the money for himself.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it is a story more of that Prince John is not sending the money to his brother, and the people know that.
Because he's literally sleeping with it.
Yeah, and the people know that.
It's just weird. Not evil behavior. Scrooge does that too. Scrooge McDuck.
The money Scrooge is sleeping with is his own money that he made through his various enterprises.
Yes. And he does spoil his nephews with his money.
Scrooge McDuck's money is Scrooge
Grandnephews.
Okay, but Scrooge McDuck's money is Scrooge McDuck's money.
Yeah.
Prince John's money
is the people's
money.
money.
The people's money.
And let's all be honest, no one likes paying taxes.
That's fair.
There's very few things that everyone can agree on throughout the history of the world. And the fact that nobody likes taxes is on that list.
Yes.
It's a very short list.
Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say this. He's just Queen of Hearts.
He is. He is a male equivalent of the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much is just like a bumbling buffoon.
Was she D tier or C tier?
D tier.
Yeah.
D tier.
He doesn't, I mean, he has a song, but it's more of a song making fun of him.
Yeah.
It's not sung by him, it's sung about him. And it's a mocking song.
It's a mocking song about him. I mean, like, Cruella de Vil's song is sung about her, but it's, yes, to a point, it's mocking, but it's also like, ooh.
She's creepy.
She's creepy. Yeah. Whereas his is Prince John, the phony king of England.
I mean, let's all be honest. I mean, and besides taxing the people to oblivion, I mean, the Sheriff of Nottingham actually does some worse stuff than he does in the movie. I mean, he steals from the poor box of the church.
The first time we see...
He fights the preacher.
The first time we see Prince John in the movie, which is right at the beginning.
Yep.
Robin Hood robs him blind.
Yep.
He deserved it.
Yeah.
It's like... So, any presents automatically gone. Because we know...
He's an idiot. And the fact that the disguises were so bad.
Yeah.
Even the snake noticed.
I mean, Little John didn't even disguise his voice.
No! I mean, it's just... He's still a villain. Because, I mean, he wages war against people, against Robin Hood. He sets up an unfair archery match. He doesn't uphold his word.
Nope. And he taxes the people in the building where almost everyone in Nottingham ends up in jail. He doesn't send the money off to King Richard, and the fact that when King Richard comes, there's actually a deleted scene where, after Robin Hood escapes from the tower, the castle, he's wounded, and Prince John actually goes to kill him himself, but then King Richard comes back and stops him.
Yeah.
Also, someone gonna tell me how King Richard is related to Maid Marian
Uncle.
when he's a... Okay. How is she a fox and her uncle is a lion?
We don't have time to unpack all of that.
And also, just shout out though, Prince John would not be as good without Hiss.
Oh yeah. And shout out to Disney for I don't like snakes, but shout out to Disney for animating a snake that can cross its arms.
Yeah.
That if you ever need to, like, whoever thought of that for Disney animation, if they ever wanted to just be like, how do you know you're a good animator? I crossed a snake's arms.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate trump card of I'm a better animator than you.
We have fully gone anthropomorphized.
I gave a snake arms. And it worked.
Yep. It definitely pulled it off. So, hang on.
The cats are trying to eat things they should not eat.
Yep.
He's going to push over the cookies onto the floor.
Yep. So it kind of sounds like we're all in agreement that Prince John joins the Queen of Hearts in D tier.
Yeah.
The crazy royals go to D tier, apparently.
All right. So
it's mostly because his underling is a worse villain than he is.
He's a better villain than he is.
Yeah, I mean, the Sheriff of Nottingham is definitely a better
Literally
villain than he
stole
is.
from the church. How more evil can you... Not even Frollo did that, at least till the end.
Well, he not only stole from the church, but he stole from a little boy on his
birthday!
So, alright. So, that about wraps up this episode, but let's just recap. So, Professor Ratagan is joined the ranks of S tier.
Woo!
King Candy / Turbo joined the ranks of A tier. Lady Tremaine joined B tier. Sher Khan joined F tier by technicality, not because he's a bad villain, because he's not really a villain. He's just acting out the law of the jungle.
He's a tiger.
And Prince John joins the Queen of Hearts in D tier.
The only tier that didn't get somebody added to it this episode was C tier.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right. What do we have going on next week?
So, before I tell you what we're doing next week, I would like to give a shout out tomorrow, February 19th, because we record these early, but when you guys listen to this, it'll be February 18th, and the 19th is the next day. February 19th is Bruce Wayne's birthday.
Happy birthday, Bruce Wayne.
Happy birthday, Bruce Wayne. And all the Bruce Wayne, and all the Batman actors out there. Happy birthday. But next week, we are actually going to start a new series.
Oh?
We are going to start our new series, Oh, the Horror.
So what is Oh, the Horror?
We are going to talk about classic horror characters. And these are, we're going to start with the characters that you can find at Universal's
Dark Universe.
Dark Universe. The first one we are going to talk about is Dracula. We're going to be talking about the story of Dracula, the legend of Dracula, and maybe ranking a few of the best Dracula versions out there while keeping it family friendly.
Yes.
And we decided to start with this because there is a brand new Dracula movie that just hit theaters stateside. It's been out in Europe for a couple of months, but it just hit theaters stateside here this past week. It stars Caleb Landry Jones as Dracula, and I have seen a little bit of it because the internet is dark and full of spoilers, and I'm really happy with it. So for the moms or the girls, or, you know, if you like Caleb Landry Jones, go watch it.
Yeah, don't take your kids to see this movie.
Yeah, no. But we're going to be talking about more of the history and lore behind the Dracula story.
Yes.
So we're still keeping it family friendly, just a different story type.
Now, I will be bringing in adaptations from family-friendly animated movies.
Yes, there's a lot of animated Draculas out there.
There are.
I mean, case in point, we talked about one when we reviewed Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School.
Fun fact, there's actually 2 Draculas in Scooby-Doo canon. They're 2 separate Draculas.
Huh?
Yep.
All right.
All right, so I think that wraps it up for another episode.
Thank you for joining us. Also, remember, we are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple Music.
We are?
Yeah, we are. I even heard through the grapevine that sometimes you can find us on iHeartRadio.
I don't know what that is.
If that is the case, then great.
And great. But if you like listening to us, give us a shout out, give us a follow, give us a like. Hit the subscribe button so that you get notified when we give more new ranting and ramblings.
All right, well, enjoy the rest of your evening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.